where I'm meeting. And today we're going to talk about how agencies find right fit clients. And just talking to this amazing man who runs major league sales. He's been in the agency business and he's forming a giant agency. Um, he told me his goal today is not to have season tickets to a baseball team like I do. He wants to purchase the Las Vegas A's. That's his plan. So he's like building up the revenue for that. And I'm betting on him to do it. So it's nice to have big dreams and big goals. But one of the things is he's a huge fan of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And he was on the show Ballers. And when I think the show went off the air, he purchased all of Dwayne Johnson's wardrobe.
Oh, wow.
All the shoes and all these expensive suits. And for his really big clients that he goes after, he sends them one of Dwayne Johnson's shoes. And he says, I just wanted to get the foot in the door and have a meeting with you.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, why am I not sending shoes to agency owners? So how do we find right fit clients? Well, one, he identifies not only the demographics, but the psychographics of his clients. He's looking for people because he loves baseball. He has a baseball collection that the Hall of Fame would be envious of, to have some of what Tommy has under lock and key in St. Louis. But he also targets people who own luxury skyboxes at major league ballparks because they're big companies and they buy those boxes for sales to entertain people. And hey, they like baseball too. So just interesting. So one is we find our niche, or a niche in America, niche in Canada. We go super tight, as Ellen Melko Moore likes to say. We go super tight on our niche and declare who it is. And then what do we do next? Well, I believe the number one marketing tool is a book, and the number one sales strategy is talking about the book, speaking about the book. So doing Q&As like this one. Jamie does hers. Other people, I really encourage you to do these. Build a community. Be helpful to people. Build a community and let the community meet each other too. And I look at attending every one of these. You all have a speaking opportunity today because you'll have the opportunity to ask me a question. And you should ask me a question in the following way. Hi, Henry. Craig Louder. As you know, I help trusted advisors with lead generation, lead conversion. My question is, okay, Jamie Shibley. Oh, hi, Henry. I'm in the relationship business. As you know, I help companies, especially financial service firms and attorneys and ad agencies. I help them build relationships. And my question is, then it really doesn't matter what your question is because you just gave a showcase to everybody on this call. And somebody might say, oh, I could use somebody like that. I should have a conversation with them. And what we know is repetition for emphasis, and relationships are built with multiple touches. So it's not a one call close. I had somebody yesterday and through networking, got an hour with me, started, talked a little bit about publishing a book, but then went into what she was selling, which is fine. I listened, all that. And at the end, I said, well, okay, let me give you a thermometer on it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 7, leaning toward an 8. She goes, I close 80% of my calls. And I said, I didn't know we were having a call, for one thing. This was a little surprise to me that that's what we were talking about. And two, a 7 to 8 is great. So if I asked you a temperature question for me, what would it be? She said a 9. I said, well, too high. You just met me. You don't know enough about me. So anyway, my point is, we're not in the one call close business. We're in the relationship business, as Jamie would say, and it's about building relationships. So that's the next thing. What we say is you need to do outreach and build relationships. I have a 25 dream list, and I have a 25 super pond list, and I reach out to them on a daily basis, and I try to do 3 a day. Where I send them something, contact them, offer them something. Here's an idea. Ask them who their target audience is and how you can refer people to them. And mean it and actually do it. So I send out referrals. Part of attracting right fit clients is giving first. As my mom, the New York City waitress, used to say, hey, give if you want to get. Give if you want to get. Give first. My teachers who teach me things about karma and kismet also tell me, or the people who teach law of reciprocation also teach me, it might not come from the person you gave it to, but it might come to somebody they know who is looking for someone like you, and they can refer you in. I'm putting together 2 people today, and I said, I don't know if you're going to be collaborators, competitors, advocates. And they said, oh, we know it, Henry. It's just something good will come from it. I said, because you share values, you share the same values. And when we get together with people who we share values with. My list right now of things to do, and somebody just approached me and I said, a book, do a book, give the book away generously, chop the book up and do a LinkedIn newsletter on it. Great feature on LinkedIn. I've gone from 0 to 2,000 subscribers without any kind of campaigns. Do that. Do these small scale seminars or Q&As. Be helpful to a community. Build that up. Then the next thing to do is get published. All of you, I've opened Agency Owner News. We're finishing the beta test in December. So it's up, it's running. We promote it in January. And it's an opportunity for you to either pitch me a story about you and your work, or offer to write a byline piece. Or if you have some events, looking at you, Shibli, if you have events, send me something and I'll publicize your events in there. Publicity. Get that going. We want to appear on podcasts, and we want to tell each other about podcasts that we've been on, if it'd be a good podcast for you to be on. So podcasts are the gift that keep giving. I know I've gotten many clients because I've been on Drew McClellan's Agency Management Institute podcast. Stephen Westner from Predictive ROI has interviewed me. Who would it be for you? Well, that goes back to that super pond list I talked about, the 25 super ponds. That is from Pamela Slim's The Widest Net. She says, once you know your target niche, where does the target niche go to get smarter? Where do they go to get educated? Who are people who are running that, offering it, that aren't in competition with you? So for me, Jamie and I figured out right away that we're not in competition, we're in cooperation. And we're going all in on that. Who is it for you? Now, in the agency management world, there's a lot with I talked about AMI and all that, but David C. Baker, who I have followed for over 20 years, does conferences, things, and I've written about David several times, and I reached out to him today. Who are you looking for? And can I give you publicity to your events and all that? Nobody's ever said, stop being helpful to me. Don't help me. And good things come from it. Make sure, says Pamela Slim, your values align, though. If somebody needs a and I had a client like this, maybe we all have, he had to win every deal. There was no win-win deal. There was a winner and a loser, and he always had to be the winner. So I knew whenever I had to do something with him, I just went in knowing that like he's going to get 55 and I'm going to get 45. Otherwise, he won't be happy. And he's very great to me through the years, but he just had that. Well, yeah, but that's not somebody I really want to totally align with, because I believe in the, we all win. We win through cooperation, not competition. This isn't a zero-sum game. We can all make the pie bigger. So look for those relationships in the ponds. But every day when I'm reaching out to people, it's pretty easy. I've got 2 lists of 25 people that, I should reach out to 3 of them today. And, it's going to take 30 days or more to hit both lists. And then you vary what you're doing and sending to people. Oh, by the way, a lot of my Dream 25 agencies are going to get a shoe this year. I haven't figured out what shoe it's going to be, but a shoe is coming their way. Just one shoe. Just, I don't have Dwayne Johnson shoes, but I'll get some nice shoe to send out. Also intrigued by the psychographics and all that. Maybe because as Craig Lauder and I get along together so well, one of the reasons is we both love baseball. We both love baseball. What is it that you really love? I had an agency in San Diego that did very well because the owner was a wine connoisseur. I don't want to say like really, but he liked wine, and he liked to research wine. And if you know people like that, you know that I'm a baseball nut. He's a wine nut. He knows all these things about it, likes to share that knowledge. Well, he found business owners who were also wine nuts and invited them to dinner, and they'd have this wine tasting and they'd do wine things together. And you know what happened? A lot of those people hired him for their agency. Now I wouldn't just go with your interest, the psychographic as the niche. I would say niche, and then find people with the like interests and similar things, and that can work well for you. As it so happens, Drew McClellan of AMI and Stephen Westner and Susan Byer, we like baseball. We're baseball fans. Not a bad thing. Okay, so the right fit clients, you're sending out these messages, you're being helpful, you've identified them. I love Drew McClellan's line about your Dream 25 list. You keep contacting them until they hire you or they file a restraining order. I was at a workshop once and somebody said, well, Henry, who's your target? I said, well, advertising, direct marketing, PR agencies with 5 to 200 employees. And I turned to the guy next to me and I said, Greg, how many employees do you have? He said, 20. I said, are you going to file a restraining order? And he said, I like gifts. There you go, Jamie. They like gifts. Okay. So that is the intro. You can ask me any question you have about a book. We also have some experts here, Claire Price, about one of our authors and on our faculty, and she knows about smart marketing and different things in that. Lead conversion, you can get them into the pipeline. How do we bring them home? How do they round third and head for home, Craig Lauder? So Craig Lauder is an expert on that. Neuropsychology, what makes humans tick? We got Dr. Steve Swavely here, so we've got some good people. I'm going to go to gallery so I can see a hand, or you can just speak out loud. You can raise something, but now I'm going to take any question from the floor. This is the audience participation part. Okay, I see Andrea Susan Glass has raised her hand. Is it Andrea, or Andrea?
Andrea.
Andrea, thank you.
Hi, Henry.
Hi.
I'm Andrea Susan Glass, as you know, in San Diego. a nonfiction book coach and best-selling author of 2 writing books. My question is, I'm trying to understand the best marketing tactics for books. I've read a lot about getting a lot of reviews, or doing workshops, whether online or live. And I've done podcasts. I've done this, that, and the other thing. But I'm looking for something that might give me the most bang for my buck, and so that I'm not doing a little of this, a little of that, and a little of that.
Right. And striking with half measures, right? Sometimes you feel like you're doing like, so if I'm going to go all in, what am I going to do? Well,
yeah, my target audience is business owners who have a value, who have expertise, and see the value of having a book for their business. And that's who
I see.
I think would enjoy my books and would also enjoy my services as a book coach.
Yeah.
So I want to sell books and sell my services both.
Okay. So selling the books, well, and Craig Lauder could speak to this about, and Craig, if I can put you on the spot, like we did the book Smooth Selling Forever, and your target audience is her target audience, these business owners. But could you just share your philosophy, which was like the philosophy of, I don't care if I sell books, and how you built the business up without caring about book sales?
Happy to. Thank you for asking, Henry. My book was my calling card. It was my business card. It distinguished me both in the minds of the prospect, but it also differentiated me from those that were saying they deliver the same services that I deliver. And my goal was to use this to open the door, to give me the opportunity to have a conversation and to do an audit of their business. So net, and I've shared this with Henry, since 2016, when the book was published, I can attribute partially or fully about close to now about $1 million in income during that time period due to the book.
What services were you selling?
Selling strategic selling planning services and fractional CSO, CMO services.
What is that in English?
Fractional head of sales, head of marketing to small business owners. What's small? It's B2B. Typically, it's about 10 million all the way up to 100 million. But quite frankly, most of them are looking in the rearview mirror and not out the windshield. They don't have a strategic sales growth plan. They don't have the systems to support the plan. And as we all know, since COVID, the world of selling has changed. And so the whole idea of reorganizing their sales operations and ensuring that we have right people in right seats is absolutely critical.
So he hit on a number there. So business owners with 10 to 100 million in revenue would be a great sweet spot for you. And these people are too busy to write a book, but many realize that a book would be a great calling card. There are a number of reasons, and you could come up with all the 9 reasons. A book will build a culture, a book will be a legacy, a book is for marketing. So all those reasons that a CEO would want. I would also encourage you to pick an industry also, and be the expert in that industry for CEOs who want to do a book. That intersection of specialization just makes all your marketing easier. And I really say, I want you to be interesting to less, fewer people. I want fewer people interested in you, but I want them more intensely interested in you, because they'll say, oh, she gets the, let's pick an industry. She gets the agriculture industry. She knows what we go through. That's one of our authors, that was their niche. And we're not talking mom and pop farms. We're talking about these big operations in Arkansas and Texas and other places, which are, a huge industry. Agriculture has a big base. Or I'm not suggesting that for you. You'd need to plumb your own experience on what it is. Then what I have found, number one, putting on your own events like this. 2, get on podcasts. 3, create your own podcast, but call it a TV show. I have Agency Rainmaker TV. One of the reasons I do Agency Rainmaker TV, and I don't know how many people, I don't even ask Devin to tell me how many people download it or anything like that. What I care about is that the guest promotes it to their database. Oh, I was a guest on Henry DeVries's Rainmaker TV show. So then there's all these people who we call them Sector 1s, prospects, never heard of us before, but now they've heard the name the first time because somebody they knew was on our show or they checked that out. Then the next thing is that LinkedIn newsletter. So all the things on LinkedIn, if you're going after a business group, LinkedIn, Facebook is my second social media of choice. For other people, it's you name it. But I'm not, my people aren't on TikTok. It's not about Instagram for us. It's about those two. And then all the way up to, could you put on a seminar that would have information so valuable that people would pay you money for it? Then do that and do it online. And the number one reason why anybody would pay you money is because you've done research on how they compare to their competitors, how their competitors are spending money. So when you know that and you can share that, Steve, it might be studies in leadership. What are leadership budgets doing? What are the people who buy leadership programs? Are they, what's their hot topics? Whatever. So it's all these things that people want to know what the competition knows. Devin, I'm not monitoring chat. If you could do that. Any other questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you do have a question in chat.
And what is it?
So Judy works with nonfiction authors and she helps them build an integrated author ecosystem. And her question is, are there collaborations that would open opportunities for her audience and build income?
Yeah. Judy, if you want to write a how-to article on that, I'll publish it on Agency Owner News. That sounds really good. Okay, so now the question again was,
are there collaborations that would open opportunities for her audience and then also to help her build income?
Okay, so collaborations to sell, and Judy, you can, talk.
Judy has laryngitis.
You cannot talk.
She has laryngitis.
You can't, yeah.
This is like a funny meet in a rom-com. Okay, so I won't make you talk.
Type in the chat. Type in the chat.
Yeah, try to chat. But so now I will open up chat. So if you want to follow up on that. My fear, Judy, is I'm going to answer the question that you didn't ask. Collaborations that would open opportunities for my audience and build income for me. I am big into collaborations. Always looking for things. You can develop a strategy that we call the advocate and affiliate strategy. So I have a number of people who are advocates of my work. They will recommend people in. They don't expect anything financial in return. I have another group of people who are affiliates. We have a relationship, and ours is a 10% relationship that if business develops from them, I will pay them 10% cash money. As the money comes in from the client, we give the money to them because we just see that as somebody should get 10% from any deal coming in, and why not them? So those are affiliate relationships you could build up. I recommend reading Pamela Slim's book, The Widest Net, because it talks about how to vet those relationships. She says, you're looking for the peanut butter to your jelly. You're also looking for people who share your values and you want them representing you. So we don't let just anybody do that. It's not, we have to have some kind of relationship with that. So that's one way. Book sales is always the tricky thing. I wrote the book Marketing with a Book. John Kramer wrote the book 1001 Ways to Market a Book. If you just want to sell books, I recommend his book. But I also think the title of that book is the problem. There's 1001 ways to do this. What are the most pragmatic ways? Well, anytime when they can experience the author, so they experience an author through a speech, through a podcast, through a forum like this. I will give you an idea that I'm doing this year, and I think Steve's going to be part of it, and a few others. Is I'm taking a dozen of our leadership authors, and we're doing a retreat for 2 days in Delaware in April at an inn called the Rehoboth Inn the Canal Side Inn in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. And we're all going to hear each other speak, because you can't recommend each other as a speaker unless you've heard each other speak. And then we're going to work on how are we going to cross-promote each other and collaborate. I really believe the secret is relationships. I know that doesn't sound profound, but let me go. For years, I was looking for what's the silver bullet? What works the best? I interviewed many professional speakers on how they built their business, how they're paid 5 to 10, 10 to 20,000, 25 to 50,000 to speak. And meanwhile, I was getting $5,000 to $10,000 speaking gigs and other paid speaking gigs. But every time I got one, it was because of some relationship I had. And somebody liked me, and somebody recommended me, or somebody said, you ought to do this. And I felt like a failure until I realized, oh, I just discovered the secret. The more people I was generous and helped and did things, the luckier I got with all those things. So one person I interviewed said, Henry, the secret is putting favors in the favor bank for other people without a quid pro quo, without an expectation that we joke here about our business model. Mario Puzo created it in his famous book, where one day, and I don't know if this day will ever come, but a favor will be asked of you. And if it's within your power, you must grant it. So yeah, it's not the mafia. One day, and once you get in, you never get out. It's not that, but it really is a secret of life. And it all goes back to the New York City waitress. Hey, give if you want to get. Give and build the relationships. Give first, and amazing things happen. I hope it helps, Judy. David, good to see you. Another question? Jamie loves Rehoboth. I don't know if that's, I'll see if there's an opening, Jamie.
Yeah, I've been to Dewey Beach a handful of times. Nice area.
This guy in St. Louis, Jamie, he wants to be bigger than the guy we're going to go meet in
No.
Phoenix.
Is he?
That's his plan.
Is it Corey's friend? No.
No.
Okay, I'll talk later.
Yeah. So
Tommy Schaff, right?
yeah, Tommy.
Tell Tommy hi.
We
worked together on a client in the past.
And him and Tom Searcy, and I mean it's a small world. Oh, also St. Louis. I mentioned somebody to somebody, and they knew who I was talking about in a few words. And I said, this must be the smallest big city in America. Like everybody knows everybody in St. Louis. Okay. Going to Rehoboth. any other question for the good of the order? Craig.
So I will ask a question. My name's Craig Lauder, and I work with trusted advisors to identify leads and convert those leads into right fit clients. Also the co-author of a book along with Mr. DeFries that'll be coming out in January called Trusted Advisor Confidential. The question that I have, when it comes to digital agencies, what are the biggest challenges that they face relating to lead conversion?
Okay. And I'm working with a number of digital agencies. One thing they fight is being taken as a commodity, that all digital agencies are the same. Oh, you guys do clicks and ads and also, or you're just out to sell me a bunch of Google AdWords. So that's part of the lead conversion. They're seen as sane. And what I advise them, Craig, is that you didn't ask me what I advised them. You just wanted to know what the problem was. So that's the problem. They're seen as a commodity.
Boy, you set that one up. If I don't knock it out of the park, I'm never going to. So what do you recommend to them, Henry?
And there's the curveball hanging out over the plate. Okay, so what I recommend to them is a proprietary process. And this came from David C. Baker and also the work of David Maister out of the Harvard Business School. So for all of us, we need to have a proprietary problem-solving process. It has a name. It has a TM. If you want to go all the way and spend $1,500 with a lawyer and fees, get a Circle R for it. It should have steps, because prospects find process comforting. In the lack of a process, they assume we're winging it, or we have a cookie cutter approach and we sell everybody the same thing. The problem-solving process takes into account. Now, I interviewed one attorney about this and told him that, and he said, well, we all practice law the same way. I said, well, let me ask you a few questions. And he gave me 10 answers that were different than other attorneys, the way they practice law. I said, write that list down and give it to your prospects. And a week later, when they talk to 3 people, they're going to say, maybe we should go with the guy with the family solution methodology. The name's not magic, but just make it memorable. Would anybody like a monograph on how to do this? Just send me an email. Devin, please put my email address in chat. Just send me an email and put process or process monograph, and I'll email you out a free monograph on how to put together your own proprietary process.
So did Tommy tell you the results of his shoe door opening method? And
Tommy's
does he follow up?
Tommy's a direct mail genius. He's he's doing very well. I didn't get the percentage and the open
Gotcha.
rate and all that. But Tommy and I talked about a book called Market Outrageously by Joel Sploresta, Spolestra. I believe that's correct. It has a sumo wrestler dunking a basketball on the cover. And a great book on marketing, look it up. He has another thing about like selling a book. I think it's like selling refrigerators to Eskimos or something like this. But he sends rubber chickens out to people, to business owners to get their attention and get like a 10-minute phone call. And then you got to be able to deliver something in the 10 minutes. And I've used the concept and it works. the thing that you're reticent about is my list. Is this a list? Should this be a dream prospect or not? I don't know. Would they be good? We overthink that. It's like, or we think we need to mail out to 1,000. What if you picked 10?
Mm-hmm.
What if I pick 10 and send them out that thing we send to new clients
Mm-hmm.
with a note that I know it takes lots of energy to do what you do. I wanted to give you some brain food and some energy. It's chocolate and nuts, by the way.
Right.
So,
Right.
and then if you were open to a 10-minute call on writing a book someday, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Well, you just wrote my next message. Thank you.
My
I
pleasure,
love it.
as
I
they
love
say
it.
at Chick-fil-A.
Right. Well done.
Thanks. Oh, we're going places, Shibley. We're going places. Okay. Any other question for the good of the order? If not, then I'll give you the rest of your day back. Thanks for coming on. Please, we do these monthly. Please come on. Love to hear from you. Also, if in the meantime you get an odd question, just shoot me an email. Be happy to handle that. Judy's asking, who can I help? Okay. Can you type a little bit more on what that means? I'm wondering if there's anything I can do to support these talented folks. Yeah. So write their names down, reach out to them on LinkedIn. If they spoke today, like Craig did, Jamie did, Andrea did, you can say, you could give them a recommendation. Heard you speak on a seminar in December. Great stuff. Just showing interest in people and helping other people is that way. I should have said to everybody at the start, my bad, we're okay with you putting your name and contact information in here. We say don't directly sell people for the most reason because it's a yucky, wrong strategy. And we want to save you from doing something wrong and yucky that positions you bad. Like those people who reach out to you and you immediately get we should connect. Let's have a 20-minute appointment. I'd like to be your life coach. And I'm usually like, whoa, you got to buy me dinner and take me dancing first before you want to be my life coach. Matter of fact, I already have a few. I have a few life coaches already, and their hands are full. So
I bought you dinner.
Yes, you did buy me. Did you buy me? It was dinner in Pittsburgh.
I did buy you dinner.
And I took you to a game.
And you took me to it. Well, you took me to the ball yard. The Pirates never showed up, but you took me
The
there.
Pirates didn't show up. Yes. But the ghosts were there. Is Ralph Kiner still alive? I was going to say, or is he passed?
Way past.
Okay, so the ghosts of Ralph Kiner and Hannes Wagner and Roberto Clemente were there. This other author, I was talking to one of my clients about this other author, and I said, oh, there was this, late author, and just really taught me this valuable lesson. I shared it. He goes, Henry, he's still alive. I had lunch with him last week. I got to be more careful about who I say who's late anymore and not with us. Okay. Thanks everybody. Thanks, Devin. We'll see you again. Happy trails.